Good morning, everyone. Today we'll be studying the basics of soil mechanics, which is the introduction part of the soil mechanics also. So, the topics today we'll be covering is the first is origin of soil. Origin of soil in the sense how the soil is formed and how it is being done from the previous history, how it is prepared and all those things. And next is three phase diagram. As this three phase diagram, how the soil is divided into three phase diagram, and this is an imaginary diagram which we are going to learn regarding our soil, and the important terminologies like void ratio and all those things which are present in the soil, that terminologies will be studying. And the phase relationships, that means we are studying about the three phase diagram, what are the phases which we have based upon how they are related, like air and water and solids which are present in the soil. Will be taking their relationship also into consideration. Next is Atterberg's limit. As this Atterberg's limit is one of the tests to find out the consistency of soil. As this Atterberg's limit is also to find out the consistency of soil, where you will be having the liquid test and also plastic test for this type of soil. Now we will see in detail these topics. Now coming to the that is origin of soil. As we all know, this origin of soil, mostly this is done due to the weathering, where weathering is formed by some mechanical and chemical decompositions which are done previously, that is previously, which are being there in the soil particle from many years ago. So that because of that many years ago, you will be getting this soil formation, and the exploding of this various physical chemical process in the rock. Because of that, the soil is getting being exposed out. So because of this, you will be studying about the chemical process, and even there will be some transposition of soil, as if it is wind or air or any natural process done by the nature. Because of that, the soil gets eroded and they get transported from one place to another place. Because of that also, the soil is getting formed. And next, it is the possibility of shifting of materials. As this shifting of materials mostly will be done because of the large scale, that means moving of landslides, uphills, all those things comes into forces. Whenever the heavy forces applied on a soil particle, they moves. Because of that also, the soil get formation, different chemical composition takes place. Now we'll be seeing the types of soil, how these types of soils are being formed. The first one is gallic soils, as these are formed by transportation and deposition. Whenever these glacier soils will be there, there will be any transport. How this transport and all those things will be, either it is by air or it is by water. This transport is being done for deposition of soil. Next is alluvial soil. As we all know, this alluvial soil transporting and running of water, that means whenever the long stream particles will be there, they will be, due to the water, heavy water, they will be transferred. Next is lacritic kind soil, formed by the deposition of quick like lakes. Example, the soils are being in the basins, mostly in the soils formed in the basins. And marine soils, as these marine soils mostly form at the deposition of seas. Whenever the seas are there at the particular point, this mostly this type of marine soils are formed. And next is alluvial soils. As an alluvial soil, it is a transport. This type of soil is formed whenever the wind is blown. Example of soils are loose platinic, where it is formed in China. Next is colloidal soil. As this colloidal soil is, it's originally a gravity, that means whatever the landslide which is taking place, based on that this soil is formed. Next we will be seeing the three phase soil diagram. As I said, the three phase diagram, the soil particle which we are considering, this type of soil particle we will be considering with the three phase. The first imaginary one is solids. Next, this water which is you are taking into consideration, that is liquid. and A is nothing but air. As the soil particles, water, whatever the electrolysis and air which is being present, that we will be taking as a three-phase diagram. As you can see the soil in the first diagram, you can see a soil sample. In that soil sample there are some water molecules. In the second phase you can see the interpresence of the soil, and where the air is also present. The solids, water and air which is present is known as our three-phase diagram, which is an imaginary. What are the three things which are present in a soil mass? And next we will be seeing the diagram which is there for the volume, how this air, water and soil is being separated. As we take the volume, that is VA, and we are calculating the all the all the volumes with V. That means the total volume, whichever total volume here, it is indicating that the volume of air along with the volume of water along with the volume of soil. And we will be considering the soil as VS, that is solids, and we will be combining this total volume, that means the volume of voids which are present. That voids will be present. As you can see this volume of voids, this volume of voids is nothing but the combination of this air and even plus water. So that is nothing but your volume of voids here. So that is nothing but total volume. Even in the same way for mass we are considering. As for the mass, if we consider for the mass, the air is taken into 0, as we will not take the volume of mass, as this mass is nothing but 0 to us. So we will be considering water and soil, that will be taken into consideration for total mass of a particular soil sample. As you can see the picture of soil very clearly here, this is a soil sample. In the soil sample also you have, these are the solids, and this is a water content whichever is a present, and A is nothing but the air which is present. As I said, the three-phase diagram is having the these three things inside view of this is taken into consideration based upon this block diagram, which we call as three-phase diagram also. Now we will be seeing the three-phase diagram in the picture very clearly. You can see this three-phase diagram, see here, that is how this soil particle, as I said, the soils is filled, the blue one is called as water, and this voids which are present is nothing but your solids, and the space, that means the spacing, the empty space whatever the word is come, this is as air. So this is a three-phase diagram for the soil which is present inside the earth surface. Next, if you see the fully saturated, if it is fully saturated, it is a two-phase diagram. As we call it as two-phase diagram, that means there is no presence, you can see in the picture, there is no presence of air here. There is no presence of air here. As you can see, the water is interlinked and the solids are also interlinked. So air is 0 for two-phase diagram for fully saturated type of soil. And you can see the dry soil, that is two-phased if it is oven dry. When it is oven drying soil, you can see the water is removed out, there is no water present here. If it is oven dry, there is no water present here, only air is present and solids are present. It's for only for A1 dry type of soil. Now we will be seeing the three-phase diagram. As we all know, this three-phase diagram will be representing the solids, air and water, and these soil particles will be representing the water or either liquid, and the other part will be either air or any other gases. As you all see, this will be equal to the total weight of so that means W2 T indicates as total weight, WS indicates the total weight of that means weight of solids, and WW will be indicating the weight of water. Whereas volume indicates the T, that means total volume, and VS indicates the volume of solids, VW indicates the volume of water here, and VV indicates the volume of voids, whereas WA, weight of air, is all the time 0. Next is volumetric ratios. What are the volumetric ratios? As we study, this volumetric ratios is nothing but a void ratio. As void ratio for a particular soil sample, if you see in the diagram, that means the volume of voids. that you can see what is the volume of voids. That means this volume of voids divided by the volume of solids here. That means VV by Vs. These two will be giving the void ratio of a particular soil sample. Next is porosity. The porosity which we will be taking into consideration is volume of voids divided by total number of volume sample. So you can see in the diagram here, this is volume of solids divided by total number of solids. So this is nothing but your porosity. So this porosity is being taken and that into the 100. So 100 in the sense we are taking the percentage in 100. So we will be considering the porosity N, that is indicated by N, that is 100. Next is degree of saturation. That is degree of saturation is for anything, any volume of a soil is considered only for saturated soil, that is dry saturated soil. Total number of voids containing, that means V by how much is containing total voids into 100 will give you the degree of saturation. Next is weight ratios. As we take weight ratios, water content. Water content is nothing but weight of water divided by weight of solids, that is WW by WS into 100. Next is soil unit weights. How the soil unit weights is being taken? Dry unit weight, weight of solids divided by total volume of solids. As you can see, the weight of solids will be, if you see this weight of solids divided by this total volume will give you the dry unit weight of a particular soil sample. And if you see the total wet, bulk or moist unit weight, whatever which we are taking into consideration, that will be given as WS. WS is nothing but weight of your solids plus weight of water, whatever the water is giving, by dividing by the total volume of solids will give you the what is the total weight of your particular. Even in the same way, saturated unit weight is considered. For that also, weight of solids plus water divided by total volume of solids. And submerged unit weight, the gamma, that is gamma sat minus gamma W, as this will be giving you the for the densities and all those things. And this three-phase diagram consists of only volumetric sides and even the mass and weight sides of a relationship. If you see for the specific gravity, that is indicated by G suffix S, as this ratio is the solids of particle, that means weight of any equal volume of distilled water at 4%, that means 4 degrees centigrade, the weight of a specific gravity is water, that means weight of solids divided by volume of solids into specific gravity, that means gamma W, the weight, unit weight of an water is taken into consideration here. So for this specific gravity, oftenly we need, that means various calculations in soil mechanics. So this GW, that means specific gravity of water is considered as 1, and specific gravity of mercury is 13.6, which is an exact value. Expected values for GS for different types of soils, as we already know. For different types of soils, there are specific. For sand, slit and sandy type of soil, inorganic clay, soil with mica or iron, organic soil, you have a standards for this type of soils also. Next is the relationship between the physical properties. As we all know, these physical properties of soil mechanics can be derived from different types of fundamental definitions. The first one, which we have already studied, about void ratio, that means volume of voids by total number of voids. Next is porosity, degree of saturation, water content, unit weight and specific gravity. So the relationship between this void ratio and porosity is nothing but your equations. That means we already studied the equations, Vs by that V volume of voids by volume of solids. In the same way, n, whatever the relationship coming under this is, En is equal to E by 1 plus E, that means void ratio divided by 1 plus E. And you can see in this diagram that given E required N, how much a void ratio is being taken into consideration. and volume is also taken into consideration, so that Va by Vw, that means volume of air and volume of water, is nothing but our void ratio, and we are considering the solid as 1 here, so that 1 plus E, so the volume, the relationship between this will be equal to N is equal to, that means the porosity is equal to E by 1 plus E here. Next, the relationship between among the E, S, W and Gs, you can get the different dividing, when you are dividing this denominators and numerators with the RHS by V, you will be getting Se is equal to WGS. This is very useful relationship in solving the three phase diagram, that means three phase relationships also. Next, the relationship among the gamma, void ratio, specific gravity, solids will be taken into consideration. So you will be getting another equation, as this equation is mostly used for dry, full saturated and submerged cases to derive the equations. Next is, this is also used for, instead of water content, you can also do for degree of saturation type of this type of equations are being used. Methods to solve the problem. When you have two methods to solve any problem, these are the four important, that means degree of saturation and unit weight of gamma, dry density and porosity. These are the different equations to solve any problem here, so that you can calculate any of the problem. If you say, take an example of the problem, if you see in the question, the most they are asking us to, here in the question they asked us to find out about the first one is dry unit weight, and they have given us what is a unit weight and even the specific gravity and weight of water, and they asked us to determine the dry unit weight, void ratio and porosity and degree of saturation. As we all know, dry unit weight formula is gamma D, dry by, that means they already given us the self unit weight, that is 19.2, and we also know 1 plus W, that means that is into 100%, which we give. If you take the gamma D, that means the formula for this, which is Gs, that is specific gravity, is already given in the question, 2.69, and into gamma W, that is 9.81 plus 1 plus E, you will be getting what is the void ratio. If you do void ratio, for getting the void ratio, next is porosity, they asked us to find out, that is void ratio divided by 1 plus E, you will be getting the porosity. Next is degree of saturation, you have to give the values of W, which is already known to you, and Gs value, which is you have which is already given in the question, and you got the value of void ratio, that you have to going to be insert, so then you will be getting the degree of saturation here. So if you see like that, you will be having an doing the problems on this. Next is relative density. As you all know, this relative density parameters to compare what volume and even the compaction of any volume reactions whenever it get reduction. As this relative density is denoted by dr, and it is also called as index property, as this index properties mostly are for different types of soil, either it is for loosened soil or it is for granular type of soil. As you can see in the picture, if it is loosened soil, how it the void ratio will be there, and if it is intermediate soil, how it is being considered, and if it is for dense type of soil, how it is being considered. And that means the volume reduction from compaction of granules of soil will be changing. As this dr, that means relative density, is being expressed in void ratio terms, that is dr is equal to E max minus E divided by E max minus E minimum. That means here dr is nothing but our relative density, which we use usually for the percentage, and E is nothing but the void ratio, as we studying from the first, and E max is nothing but the void ratio at the loosest state. E minimum is nothing but the densest state of a void ratio, which we are considering. Next we will be seeing the granular qualities, that means how this relative density is being taken into consideration, and its description also for different types of soils, what is the percentage of the soil for relative density is being taken. There are different things. Next is Atterberg's limit. As I said, this Atterberg's limit, the equipment used for this Atterberg's limit is Casagrande apparatus. And this Atterberg's limit is therefore to find out the consistency limit. This consistency limit is done in liquid limit state and even in the plastic limit state. As this liquid limit state is nothing but you will be having a consistency, that means you will be having a grooving tool and brass cup and a rubber base plate, and you will be having a mold, and in that grooving tool at the center of that you are using that grooving tool and drawing a perpendicular, removing the soil sample in a straight line, and you are going to repeat it the same height until the grooving tool gets closer, that is 2.7 mm. After removing the moisture content, you are going to determine what is the moisture content, and the soil of this particular soil sample, when you close the distance, you should be dropping it for 25 drops for each rotation, so that if you see, this is the apparatus of a liquid limit test, and even for this is also known as Casagrande's apparatus also. You can see in this picture, that is soil sample in the placed apparatus. Spatula is to trim the excess soil sample to remove out, and this cans, moisture cans for doing the moisture content, that is oven dry. Grooving tool you can see, which is having a V shape at the edge, that is one grooving tool, and the soil specimen. And you can see in this picture that you place the soil sample in the mold, and next, so that after spacing you are going to take a line in the same way, that is means in the same way you are going to draw a line based upon this two screws, draw a straight line so that it is remove the excess part. And after that, if you rotate this one, then the soil get into contact, so remove this one into perpendicularly and remove this soil in the same way and put it in this cans and oven dry. You can get the moisture content of a particular soil. Next, if you see the plastic limit, the plastic limit is nothing but it is getting threads, it becoming thinner, eventually breaks at 3 mm. A 3 mm rod is given to us to take the same diameter of the particular. So this what it will be doing, you are going to do the ball of take 120 that is 80 grams. In that you are going to take 40 grams of soil and 2 bowl mixing of your atta in the same way, mix it and roll it and do a thread like a 3 mm rod. When you do 3 mm rod by putting it on a glass plate, so that there will be some crumbles, that means it get breakage, that 3 mm rod. The breaks whatever you are getting the smaller diameter, put it in a oven dry, that means in a container that moisture contains, and take the oven dry so that you will be getting what is the moisture content present in a particular soil sample. So that we will be completing about this. Thank you everyone.